Welcome to the Ram's Head Forge, and today we're going to be forging a hairpin. It's simple enough, but let's get into the video. I'm going to go ahead and start off with rebar. That's just cheap, easy steel to easily turn into square stock. And what we're doing here is we are rotating it 90 degrees in order to draw it out. With each hit we want to rotate 90 degrees and try to get an even spacing. It's important to either have an even taper or keep everything the same thickness, because if you have a thinner point, it can bend a lot and cause a weak point and cause it to break under the stress. But generally, turn 90 degrees, draw out the steel. For my specific size of hairpins, draw it out between 12 to 11 inches, which seems like a lot, but when you curl it in on itself, it actually creates a quite, almost on the smaller side hairpin. That's all we're doing for this part, so you can go ahead and keep it sped up. Quick note to add, keep watching to the end of the video to be able to see the entire hairpin collection that I've made so far. During this section of the process, you can actually see me use my measuring trick. I measured out how large or how long a piece of steel needs to be for my preferred hairpin style. And I found out that it was roughly between 11 and 12 inches, which ironically is from the flat horn or heel of the anvil straight to the hardy hole. So it's about 11 and a half inches, give or take. So I don't have to bring out a ruler each time. And it's just a helpful, neat trick. You can use any marking system that you find beneficial, but the anvil already had the shape for me instead of having to use chalk or pencil or marker or anything like that. And now that we've got the piece cut from the steel stock, for me just rebar, I'm going to work on some tapered ends. Just try to get those down to a finer point. That way I can use needle nose pliers to curl in the edges. That way there won't be any sharp ends that could get caught in hair. And it's just an easy way to make it look decorative while still being super simple. I typically just do it by taking two needle nose pliers and wrapping them around, pinching just the very end of it and twisting it. You can, however, do this with the edge of your anvil and I would suggest a smaller hammer as I use here. It's just easier for decorative work that way. Just use a smaller hammer on the edge of the anvil and you can roll over a piece of steel, which you will see me attempt to do later on in the video. Now let's get that recording sped up again. Here's actually where I start to do the curls. As you can see, I'm using one shorter piece of needle nose pliers to grab the end of it and curl it in on itself. That way it creates a rounded, cleaner edge. Like I mentioned earlier, that hair won't get stuck in it, and it's a really good way to make it look decorative without it being too difficult to do. Now I try to do as much as I can with the needle nose pliers, but I still have to give it just a few taps with the hammer to really close it in. I've had varying success with these. Some look better than others. It's sort of tricky, sort of not tricky. It's very tricky if you want a perfect circle. Ovals are more common to happen.
Turn the camera on. I already curled it, or at least one half of it. This is obviously one, but I just wanted to show you guys before I just started finishing the entire thing. Sorry about that.
Unfortunately, I did forget to record that and hit record, but you can see me work on it here. More or less, you start it on the horn of the anvil, and you'll still be able to see me do the curl here, but the biggest thing about the curl is just you're not going to get it perfect on the horn. You can get it perfect on the horn, it's just it takes long, long, long hours of practice. And it's just a lot easier to just grab the needle nose pliers and just make small adjustments every now and then snap it back onto the horn and make more small adjustments. This entire section of just curling this shape is all about the little adjustments, and it's never going to be perfect, of course, because it's something handmade. Its imperfections is what gives it a lot of its character. It's about finding the happy medium of where you're satisfied with the project. Instead of seeking perfection, you need to find the satisfaction of something that's made well and maybe not completely perfect. Like I said earlier, for handmade goods, the characters and their imperfections. This is an important step that you don't want to miss. The hairpin can't go through the hoops unless you do curve the hoops slightly. I just go on the biggest part of the horn and curve it according to that geometry. There's not a specific curvature that's bad or good. It's just, again, almost a preference. It needs to be able to, the pin needs to be able to go through without touching the middle section of the hairpin, because if it can touch the middle section, that means no hair can get in between the actual pin and the metal, and which renders it useless, obviously. But a very important step. And now we go back to, or this is the first time in the video actually, we go to the beeswax. Technically, this is quenching, sort of. I'm doing it in a way that's not literally submerging it in oil, but I prefer beeswax for something that's going to be handled a lot, especially on skin-to-skin contact. And you can use any oil, and I think even technically any wax, though I wouldn't suggest it. This section here in the video is upcoming. I'm just going to talk over it because I'm just drawing out the steel again. This is the actual pin that I'm going to start making on. Anyways, you can use any wax and any oil, but beeswax is one of the safer oils and waxes to use, and it provides a very nice surface finish, and if you keep melting, it can even add like a thin layer to protect the material. And I've used it for a while now, and it's definitely been giving me the best results. Okay, now that I've drawn that out to the general length and shape that I want it to be, I'm going to start flattening it, which of course I forgot to record most of. Here's what's left. So we're just going to flatten this piece, and my idea was to try something new, and I'm going to flatten this piece as much as I can, cut off the excess, and I'm going to try to roll almost like a scroll or a piece of paper. This next piece I'm just going to continue flattening and attempt to roll this. And it's a very difficult mix of hitting it over the side of the anvil, then hitting it towards you, and then hitting it from above. You have to do kind of a mixture of all three to get it to properly roll. I did try to use the needle nose pliers again, but they did not want to do this. And I mentioned earlier in the video, this is how you would roll any kind of steel with an anvil without having needle nose pliers to help benefit and make it easier. And this was a bit of a pain, so I'll try to speed it up as much as possible. And of course we can't speed up the, again, beeswax finish of the project. Again, just using beeswax, and it's burning off, unfortunately, a lot of it. But we kind of just have to keep doing it until it turns black instead of burning it off. But it does make for a rather dramatic and cinematic part of the video, even if it does make it incredibly difficult to breathe when inhaling that awful smoke.
Thank you all so much for getting to the end of this video. This is probably one of my first long form videos that's actually like edited and done properly. So the new thing I tried here was with the pen. I tried to make it almost look like a scroll of paper just rolled up on itself. And for the most part it worked. It looks a lot worse from this side. Looks a lot better from this side. And I just did a simple rounded edge, try to do some kind of type thing with this. And here it is all together. And before we end the video, I'm going to give y'all a special look at the rest of my hairpins, if you would come with me. Oh goodness, excuse me a moment as I struggle with this camera setup. There we go. So here we have my first in order from first to oldest, first to newest, oldest to newest of hairpins that I've been working on. That last one, second to last one's missing a thing. And here is the special look at every one. And they're all unique, individual. None of them are made the same. None of them look the same. There are certainly similarities, but each one is different and unique. And I would really, really love it one day if I could sell these. I could mass produce them and I could sell them. And this video, I mean, you guys watching it in and of itself is a mark, is for me, that really helps encourage me. Comments, subscriptions, likes, I mean, all of that is, first off, I mean, it's just helpful, but second off, it's just so encouraging, and I thank you for watching. The real thing I need with this channel right now is growth. And I hate to advertise and toot my own horn and stuff, but I would really appreciate it if you would share this video, if you would subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe. Just try to pass this around so much, because I'm trying so hard to make this a profession. I don't want to work in a sit-down office job. I want to be able to forge. This is my passion. Above almost anything else, this is my passion. So please, if you could share this video, if you could like this video, comment, subscribe, anything within your power, I would be absolutely, completely grateful. And this is a how-to, so if you have any questions, of course, I will answer them. I'm at a point right now where I can just sit down and answer each comment that I get, no worries. So if y'all need anything, advice, tips, tricks, wondering what materials I use, anything, I'll gladly help. And that's all from the Ram's Head Smithy. Have a good one.